What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. You know what? I know a lot of channels, not even in the fitness industry, and every other YouTube world are doing videos on why they're thankful. I love my family. I love my mom. I love my kids, and all those you guys know I love everybody. I love you. I did a video on my birthday thanking you guys. So really, any more thanking is redundant for you and my family and everybody else in my company. I'd like to take time to thank the haters. And this is not the haters that are on not internet trolls. They're not even at the grade of haters. These haters actually did negatively impact my life. And I want to say, a lot of people say be a bigger person and just forget about it. Just move on. No. I bottle it up. I hold it inside and I use it as fuel for my fire to get back at them. You know, part of my success is my constant drive to prove people wrong, my constant drive to be better than those who held me back, my constant drive to be the best at what I am. And whether that be a father, a businessman, or a professional bodybuilder, I'm always trying to get better. I won't be the best at anything I do, I guarantee it. I'm not gonna be the best in the world, I'm not gonna be the best bodybuilder, I'm not built for it, I don't have genetics. But I'm the best damn bodybuilder God gave me the potential to be. Now, I'm going to go in about my history. I don't know if a lot of you haven't been following this channel, but a lot of things held me back in life. One is my mother was a drug addict, She's actually still alive. We don't really talk much because of her issues, because I just don't want my kids around them. And that's the step one obstacle that I'm getting at, is one reason I went the route I did in health and fitness and in helping people and in helping with cystic fibrosis and diabetes and all this, is because I wanted to be the furthest thing not like my parents, my mother. My father died of complications basically from type 2 diabetes. He was always sick. I remember in high school coming home and he had a stroke, and I remember actually a good friend, he became a good friend of mine. This is when I was a senior, my football career is over. His name was Coach Scott McCrillo. And he was at my house, and he actually came there. My dad called him. He got there before me. He called both of us. And there's some people in life you just can't thank enough, and he's one of them. He actually helped me a lot and helped me discover who I am, what I want to be when I grow up, so to speak. And you always have those mentors. I hope to do that with some children and kids as well, young adults. So I had those at the beginning. In high school, one thing that wasn't a hater, but it was more motivation. Coach Steve Carroll at Culver City High School, I remember he was standing on a desk and he used to watch us all train. We train in groups. And I remember he said, I was fucking around. I didn't give a fuck. I was a sophomore. He said, Lobliner, you ain't gonna play a lick if you don't lift weights. That was all I needed to hear. I'm like, you know, fuck that. I'm gonna prove this guy wrong, and I'm gonna lift weights, and I'm gonna become the best fucking football player there is. I didn't become the best football player there is, but I did become good enough to get what I wanted out of football, which is I got college, you know. That was number one. In high school, I met my daughter, and my wife. I didn't meet the mother of my daughter. And I'm not going to go into every instance, but these are just key ones. And you can use these in your life to give examples and move forward on. I'd like to thank, first of all, Coach Carroll for egging me on and making me become a hard worker and a hard trainer. And believe it or not, he's the one who got me involved in bodybuilding, long story short. I'd like to thank my in-laws for hating me and still not liking me. I'd like to thank my mother-in-law and father-in-law. My father-in-law passed. All due respect to him. They never liked me. They never thought I was good enough for Katie, and they never thought I'd amount to anything. And they told me so, and they told me I'm not good enough for their daughter, and they told her that she's making a big mistake. 3 kids, a big house, and a wonderful life in process, and later, I'm still trying to prove them wrong by being the best father and husband I can be. And it's a shame that we can't have a good relationship with them, with my mother-in-law, but at the end of the day, if she was ever able to get along with me, I'd more than welcome her into my house. I mean, it is what it is, but I thrive on that, and I never understood why they didn't like me. I think I've been a pretty good husband thus far, but you know, I do understand. I mean, we were kids. We were 16, 17 years old. Every 16, 17-year-old falls in love, thinks they're in love. It's usually bullshit, but we were the real deal. They just haven't looked past the fact that I'm double that age now. So that's another thing. I use that as fuel. Now, when I was at a former company, when I was with one company, they thought I was too young for the position. I was VP of marketing, and they essentially pushed me out of the company. And that led me to start my first company. And I'd like to thank that person, the CEO of that company, for not liking me or having faith in me, even though I'm the one who launched the company for the most part. And I'd like to thank his underlings for being little bitches and going along with it because, hey, I'm more successful than all of them right now. See what I mean? I'd like to thank another business associate that I had the pleasure of working with who told me that I was too niche, who told me that I can't grow a business, that I didn't have wherewithal to do it. I'd like to thank him for that support and that wonderful backing to tell me that. I'd also like to say that Inc. 500 does not reward people for not growing companies. And Fast 55 doesn't do that as well. But nonetheless, I prevailed and I am prevailing and I plan on growing this company and helping people reach their goals. Another thing I'd like to say, I talked to a lot of business people, a lot of owners in this industry who told me you have to focus on ROI, you have to focus on revenue, and you do not need to focus on the customer. The customer comes second. And I would like to say that our mantra at TigerFitness.com and MTS Nutrition, two separate, completely separate companies run by different people. I'm involved in both. I'd like to say we have managed to put the customer first every step of the way and put profits and losses second. And guess what? If the customer is happy, the profits will come. So I would like to thank those people, many people in the industry, for not putting customers first and allowing us to do what we should be doing, and that's helping people reach their goals. Bodybuilding, back too narrow. I have some wide ass lats now. Weak delts, we're not gonna argue that one. Not big enough. Pretty big now. And legs too small. You've seen my legs develop. They still have a long way to go, but I'm working on them. And I'm doing it because I'm trying to prove people wrong. I ain't gonna lie about that. Arms too small. Work in progress. That's my hardest part to grow, but guess what, haters? I'm working on them, and I'm gonna keep growing them. What this video is about, people ask me, I get a lot of emails about, I don't like talking about myself in emails. What do you do? What do you do? I'm like, well, it's not about me, it's about you. But this is the case, this isn't bodybuilding. What fucking curl works best for me? Not necessarily what's gonna work best for you. What I'm getting at here, guys, I mean, I want you to really listen to me, is that we all have adversity. We all have naysayers, and along this way, I went from a childhood that was, I mean, many would call broken. Shit, my mother tried to kill me, for goodness sakes. My brother and I, you know, we joke about it now. She tried to kill him too, you know. Went from having a really disturbed childhood, so to speak, that I managed to pull out of, and got back in. So those of you going through hard times now, I want you to say there's a holiday season, and I just now decided that my family and I on Christmas, we're giving up Christmas Eve. We're gonna go help at a homeless shelter and give food to the people who need it. There's always a way out, and that way is hard work. And I know a lot of people think they need all this and I mean all handouts, and the power's within. It's gonna suck. There's been times in my life where I didn't ever contemplate ending it, but I always ask myself, why am I here? What is the point of this life? And I'm here right now and I'm enjoying every second of it. Just look at the good part. You know what, I really came to a realization. I'm boring the shit out of you. Most of you have already turned this off, but those who are still here. You know, when I was in North Carolina and we were putting on that show, the ANBF show, to benefit cystic fibrosis, and I actually had a chance to sit there and think and interact and see Isla and other people. You know, there were a few who came by, you know, Jesse Martin's kid and everything. I mean, you know, there's always people who have it worse. There's always people who look at the bright side. And I always point to thisraceblows.com. Go to that site and watch Isla's video. And no matter what I went through in life, it wasn't nearly what she went through, you know? So no matter how hard things are in life, no matter how hard they are in life, you're lucky. You're lucky to be here. And there's a lot of people anxious to get to where you are at, no matter how low on the totem pole you think you are. Call this motivational speech, call this an autobiography, call it what it is. I'm not ranting. I'm not throwing things. I'm just saying that regardless of how many people are working against you, realize the power to succeed is within your own hands. And a lot of people want to be just like you. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, because reaching your goals, we all know, that's not a game. Boom!